Hi, I'm Emma, and I'm going to teach you how to crochet a hat. So first you want to get your yarn. I've got some acrylic yarn here by Vanna's Choice, and I've got my crochet hook. Now, whatever size you want to use is entirely up to you. There is a recommendation on the yarn. You can look for that. It's right here. I'm not using that one because I like this one. It's smaller, it makes for a tighter weave, and makes it therefore warmer. So, first thing you want to start off with is what's called a magic circle. And I'm going to do my best to show you that. It's going to look a little backwards because this is my very first tutorial, so don't judge me too much. So, you want to take your yarn like this and make a magic circle. So you go the yarn around like that. It should look like that. Oops. Like that. You want to go underneath the first one to grab the second one. Like that. And then go underneath to grab the second one again and pull through. So that's your magic circle. So I'm going to put the laptop down. Hopefully it's a bit easier to see. So that's what it looks like. So now you want to crochet. So it's a simple crochet. So you go underneath your two pieces of yarn. This is called the tail. Here, it's the end piece. So you want to try to cover that up. So you've got both pieces in your hand. And you go underneath. Grab the yarn over the hook. So there's two pieces of yarn over the hook. Grab that same piece of yarn again and pull it through both. And that's what it looks like. So you want to do 6 of those to finish your magic circle. So I'm just going to do it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's what it looks like. Now you want to pull your tail and hold on to this part here. Pull your tail and it closes in the circle. So now it looks like that. Now you want to take this yarn, and I'm sorry if I'm doing this too fast. I hold the yarn like this. I wrap it around my pinky so it's almost a full circle and take it under my index finger so it makes it tight, but not too tight that you can't pull it. See, it's really easy to pull. So now you want to go through your very first crochet that you did, and you want to put it through both of them like that. And you want to take your tail underneath because you're going to try to cover it up. And you're going to pull the big piece of yarn that's still attached to the yarn ball, and you're going to pull it through all 4. So your tail makes 1. And then you've got the 2 from the crochet that you just went through, plus where you left off. So that's 4 loops. So you want to pull it through all 4, just like that. And then you want to make another crochet like that. That makes a new level or a new row. So a lot of people use yarn markers, but I don't have any because I find them to be a bit of a pain. So what I do is I remember what this looks like, and I'll show you what I mean. So now you want to make the next row. So you want to go through this loop here. So you go through the first loop. I don't know how well you can see that. So you want to hold your tail the entire time because you're trying to hide it. So you go through the 3 because you've got the tail and the crochet hook. The first crochet. So you go 1, that's another crochet, single crochet. And you want to make this row 2 crochets in each hole. So that's 1 that we've done. And now you want to do another one. So that's 2 crochets in the very first hole. And you want to do that all the way around. So we made 6. So this time it's going to be 12 total until you get back to the beginning. So that's 2. And then the next one, 3, 4, in the next one there. And in the next hole, you want to do another 2. So that's 6. And in the next one, another 2. So that's 8. This is what it looks like so far. And then this one, 9, 10. And then the last one, 11, 12. So this is what mine looks like so far. You can see we've still got a tail, but it is getting covered up. And you're back at the beginning because you see this little crochet here. It's smaller than the rest of them. So that's how you know you're back at the beginning. So now to end this row, you want to go through, I don't know if you can see this, go through the very first crochet on this row. So that's what it looks like. So you've now got 4 on there again because you've got where you left off, you've got your tail, and you've got the first crochet. So you pull through, and you pull through all of them. Oops. Like that. So you've got this loop. And that's ending off your row. And there's your tail. So now, to finish off your row, you want to just make a single loop like that. And now you're ready to start a new row. And you continue on this way with one less. So what I mean by that is the last row that we did, we had 2 crochets in each of the single crochets from the first row. Now you want to do 1 crochet here, 2 crochets here, 1 crochet here, and so on. So I'll show you how to do that. So this is the row we started off. So you do single crochet, and then 2 single crochets, and then single crochet, and 2 single crochets, and meanwhile you're still trying to hide your tail, remember, so keep that in mind. So that was 2, now 1 more, and then 2, and then 1. My screen keeps going dark. And then 2. And don't worry about your tail. If it looks like that, that's okay, because it'll get hidden. It's fine. So 1 more in there. 1, 2, 1, and 2. And you always end with the 2. Always. So now we've got, what would that be? 12, it's 18. So we started off with 6, then 12, then 18. And you continue on this pattern. So to finish off this row, you skip this little one here, and you go into the next big one because the little one is where you started, right? So you go into the next one, which is the first single crochet on the row. And now you don't have a tail, so now you're just going through the 3 loops and pull it all the way through. And that's what it looks like. And remember to do the extra loop. So this is what mine looks like so far. And yours should look similar depending on your gauge of yarn. If you used a smaller gauge, then obviously it's going to look a little bit smaller. Bigger gauge is going to look bigger. The advantage of using a bigger gauge yarn, is that the hat will actually take a shorter time to finish because the yarn is bigger. Therefore, you need less of it to make the same amount of hat you would with a smaller yarn. So basically you continue on this way with 1 more. So we did 1 and then 2 and then 1 and then 2. The next one you'll want to do is 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. So now you're on to 3, if you get my meaning. And then you continue on that way until you reach 10. So you end up getting 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. When you've gotten to that point, that's made the whole top of your hat. And what you can do is at that point, you can either continue on the same but no more increases, or you can actually make a tiny little rim at the top of your hat, which will actually make the shape more defined. So I'll just show you how to do that on this. Yours is going to look differently because your circle is going to be bigger, but I'll just show you how to do that. So let's pretend the circle is big and it's big enough for a head. Oh, and by the way, that size that I mentioned is for an adult size hat. It's a typical size. You can change it depending on how big your head is. So for kids, you want to do it a little bit less. So instead of going to 10, you want to maybe go to 6 or 7, depending on the size of the head. And you'll know it when you practice. And that's basically all this is just practice. I've been doing this for years and never had any formal training, obviously, probably because I don't know any of the terms. But anyone can crochet, basically, is what I'm saying. So now, let's pretend that this is big. So now you want to make a rim. Instead of going into both of the loops, like that, which is what we were doing. And, you know, you don't have to do this for a rim. You can do this for the entire hat. It makes a cool look. But I find that hats are better if you use both of the loops instead of just the one. It's entirely up to you. It's choice. And sometimes you can make really cool patterns by doing what I show you to do. So instead of going through the 2 loops, you just want to go through the outer loop. So you leave this first loop here. You don't touch it. And you go into this loop here. So now you've just got 2 loops. Sorry, 2 loops. You don't want to touch this first loop. You go through the outer loop. And you do a single crochet always. So that's what it looks like after you've done a single crochet. And you go and do that the entire way around. So that's what you end up with. It's a cool little line. And it makes for a really cool top of the hat. I call it a rim, but it's not really a rim. It's just the very top of the hat. It's where the top of your head is, and then the rest of it kind of goes down, you know, like a hat. So anyways, that's what it looks like. And it's a really cool little thing that you can do. And you can do it at any point. It doesn't have to be on the top of the hat. It can be halfway down. It makes a cool line. You can do a couple lines, and it makes for a neat look. So if you have any questions, please ask me, and I will do my best to answer them. Like I said, I think this is my very first tutorial. So if I can improve in any way, please let me know. If step-by-step written instructions would help you, I'm happy to do that. But please keep in mind that I'm not professional at this, so I don't know all the terms, and it will be in plain English that I understand. So that's it. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you make a really cool hat. And please, if you're able to, this is my first time using this website, post some pictures because I'd love to see them. Thanks so much. Have a great day.